Hey, good evening, everybody. Live from Louisville with Cattle Drive Live. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to be here. We are excited to get this market steer show underway. Myself, Brett Carter, uh, maybe up here in the booth per se, and John down in the trenches, sideline reporter for the day, Corey Thompson.
You bet. We're glad to be with you, Brett. We're right here on the ramp. We're viewing the ramp going down into Freedom Hall, hitting the green wood chips down there. We got the Sim Solution show going on the left side of the ring down here, and we got the steer show going on the right side tonight or this afternoon.
Good. Well, hey, here's JB to talk about this first class of market steers.
Evaluate your market steers, and we're definitely getting started here with a really nice class of these.
Hey, Brett, you back?
Hey, I'm back. You betcha.
Hey.
Good morning.
Hey, Brett.
Yes.
Hey, I've got a guest here that'd like to say a couple words.
Another great show with some great young people here today.
Hey, you got a guest. Who's our guest,
Yeah.
Corey?
Well, the one and only.
Hey, what are you doing there, Jake?
Really up-headed. I love the way the neck comes out of the top of the shoulder.
I hope everybody can imagine just the excitement that's on this
in an ideal world,
there's nothing like going down this ramp to go down onto this floor and show cattle on this floor. But these steers look awesome. It's going to be a great steer show the rest of the day.
It is going to be. And hey, I got to tell you, Jake, you hit on something there that is 100% correct. There's absolutely no feeling anywhere in this business like walking down the ramp and seeing Freedom Hall dusted with these green wood chips.
I'm going to tell you, it's like no other feeling I've ever felt in my life. I came out here early this morning and walked down here just alone, quiet. Everybody, that's the place to do it. But when you walk down here, from this view, you can see right here to walk down this ramp. There's no other feeling in this business like this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This steer show is going to be awesome. Any indication on the herb spots?
Yep. Brett, you still with us?
Hey, I'm still with us.
Yeah. Yep. We got class
we are experiencing just a few technical difficulties with our audio, so bear with us here. So this is as fresh for us as it is you. So we're currently watching class 2 market steers. You'll see that they range here from 1182 to 1286 pounds. And we're talking about kids looking here at the sheet. Michael Frisbee, Kate Day, got Cooper Lemons, Cheyenne Mendenhall, Elena Miller, Philip Black, Garrison Sedlig. Those of you listening that are from those hometowns, I'm sorry for butchering up a name or two, so it was not done on purpose. But Class 2 market steers ranging from 1,182 pounds to 1,226 pounds. Corey coming in.
Brett, you there?
Yes, are you with me, Corey?
Yep, I got you.
Good,
I got
good.
you.
Hey, what did these steers look like in this Class 2 coming in the ring?
I tell you what, they're starting to get, a little heavier, a little more width to them, a little more maturity. They're still cattle that probably aren't 12 o'clock in terms of their condition quite yet, but we're getting there. What'd you say the top weight was in this class, Brett?
The top one in this class weighs 1226.
Yeah, we're just not quite market ready yet.
Right.
Got
Gotcha.
little girl going to do a little haying right here in front of me right now.
Right.
In our steer show, official results for Class 1 after way back.
I'd like to go down in that ring, but I just lose connection when I. Here comes a pretty nice calf right there.
Right.
Second place, entry number 69, exhibited by Summer Edwards, Fort Valley, Georgia.
Boy, can you hear me?
Third place, entry number 70.
Yeah, I got you.
Whitey there. That one there's got all the extras in terms of muscle and bone, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Woo.
Xenia, Ohio. Fifth place, entry number 33, exhibited by Norman Tushlowski, Trafalgar, Indiana. And sixth place.
Could you hear Jakey very good, Brett?
Yes.
Good. He's hard not to hear.
Class 2, steers declared weight of 1182 to 1226.
There's the white calf coming by right there that Corey and I were just talking about. I mean, just a truck from end to end. I mean, these things are big and wide and opened up for some cattle that aren't probably heavy enough today.
Steer exhibitors, entry 45 and 58. We need you to the makeup ring. Class 3 steers to the makeup ring.
Hey, are you there, Brett?
Yes, I'm here, Corey.
Hey, was that a silver calf that won the first class?
Was that a what?
A silver calf he won the first class?
A silver one wins the first class.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, that's a calf right there now.
Right.
That's him going up the ramp there. I mean, you talk about a big square butt end in one.
Right. So for early on in this deal, it became more about just right out of the gate. He went with some power.
Yeah, that's a good calf. Very good.
And right here, we're starting to see him start to pull, and I mean he's pulling on bottom to top, and boy, as he gets some whittled out of there and gets the quality whittled down to where it's much closer.
Hey,
it's good stuff.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's the M. Lazy Heart brand from PD. That's from PD Miller, isn't it? Yeah, Wyoming. Are y'all from Wyoming? No, all right. Indiana. But that's PD Miller's brand.
There we go.
Yeah. Which one won that last class, Brett?
We were having a few technical difficulties on our end, and I'm going to tell you, I did not write down a class winner, and
was he
I'm going to
yellow?
Start keeping up with that. So
was he yellow?
Mr. Randy Molnack, Toulon, Illinois. Randy is wife Jamie, operating the Foreign Cattle Company. It's indeed a pleasure to have Randy back with us today to evaluate our percentage Simmental show.
let's listen to our remarks from Gerald. Hey, Corey.
Hello.
Hey, there you are. Can you hear me? Hey guys, we're back on here. We apologize. This is new to us too, so we've had just a few difficulties. We'd like for you to be able to hear Gerald talk and Gerald discuss what's going on here. And Paige is actually working on that right now. He's currently working on Class 3 market steers.
Hey Brett, can you hear me?
There you are. I got you, Corey. Go ahead.
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff to show you here.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. You can keep it.
This steer right
Things
here.
brought up here on
Can you
each
blow
class.
that up,
Someone from the
Paige?
Simmentals.
Yep, we sure
Yep.
can.
Yep. This calf here is raised by Rob Van Hove in South Dakota. He's a Here I Am out of a Tyson cow. He's in this class 4 coming up.
We need Simmental placings.
Okay.
Really a nice calf. I'll shuffle around here and see if I can find some more stuff to show you. I think in these next few classes, there's going to be a lot of good ones.
Simmental.
You got to drag that over.
It's a really nice calf right here, guys.
Close that right here. Okay, we're gonna try this again. There we go, Corey. They got me running buttons over here, and I mean, this is just not my forte. I'm a lot better talker than I am operator. So. Yeah. So what we got right here?
Well, let me find out. What's this calf out of? What's this calf out of, guys?
King Cobra.
He's a King Cobra. The Matt
King
Lautner
Cobra.
sire, King Cobra. Well, he's
Okay.
a stout bugger now.
Good.
He is a stout, wide bugger.
Good deal.
We got Dylan Brock.
Okay. Hey, here we go.
Hey, ask old Dylan a few questions here. Dylan's from Indiana, cowboy. Can you hear us, Brett?
I can hear you. What about old Dylan? He still have that? He got that money wagon with him?
You got some steers here today? You don't have a single one. Just watching. Yep. Absolutely. It's going to be a good show. Very good. Yeah. You bet. Well, we're just giving everybody a few scenes and sounds from the pits down here. So, again, Dylan Brock. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Here we go. We got Class 3 market steers in the ring right now. Steers weighing from 1279. He's just starting to get him a good profile look at these things, and I'd say before too long he'll start whittling on them, getting them down to.
Hey, we got another one here, Brett.
Okay.
You there? Yeah,
yep, I'm here.
The McKay family. Got there. Well, he's a long, freaky fronted calf. What's he out of? Mom doesn't know. Whitney, you know what he's out of? Whitney Andrus with CCI Live. They're starting to come out of the woodwork down here. Got Jeff Wisninski over here with the program, Cardinal Cattle Company. That's who showed that Van Hove calf I showed you there a little while ago, Brad.
Yeah, you bet. You betcha.
Newt, tell us some wise words.
I'd say I'd be easy shopping around some of those guys when their nerves are on edge, Corey. You're liable to get punched, and we'll hear something that the world doesn't need to hear.
Yeah. Wise words from the Newt.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. He's starting to get him some of these steers pulled out of here right now. I tell you what, this from my vantage point, the quality of these things here has been really, really nice. And we're starting to get into some steers that have just a little bit of starting to get a little bit more market ready size in them. So I'm gonna try to.
The young man that's going to go ahead and win the class. I probably like this one the best at the ground. I like her maturity pattern. I just like the natural aesthetic she has relative to the two right behind her. Is she the stoutest one in here? No, she's not. But, she's got plenty to her. And I like her flexibility. I like her potential longevity from that standpoint. The heifer that comes in the next slot, I like her off her hind wheel. She's really flexible in that hock and pastern. Maybe
Here I'm back again. We are starting to get them whittled down. He is starting to get them whittled down to two, maybe two of them. He's got it on his mind, and he's shopping for a microphone next door. Looks to me like, but he's got them whittled down to 61 and 18.
gets a little early maturing for me. Sure would like to tone her down in her tail head and see her move off that hind wheel a bit better. Then the young man that rounds out the class, sure doing a good job. He's got a long-bodied, square-hipped heifer. Just needs loosened up and opened up through that center body.
I'll be the first to admit this was a little challenging of a class to put together. We have a lot of different types and kinds, and there's probably not just a bulletproof one in this class, because when you go to picking on them, they all have kind of a hole that sets out in them, and so it makes it a little more challenging to put together. I think the young lady's yellow steer that's going to win the class, no doubt when they're setting still, this one, he dominates the class with his pattern and look and the body shape and how he blends together from end to end. A cap that's really nice over his top, a cap that's got a beautiful look to him from a side profile. You got to appreciate the balance and quality in this cap. We get him on the go, and he wants to get a little bit wide from behind, maybe a little tighter in his structure. But I think there's so much quality there, and I don't know that we have just an exceptional moving one in this group as well. So I think he comes to the top pretty easy in my mind. Gets a little closer from there. I'm going to use a little more conventional steer, a steer that's a little smaller frame. Maybe not quite the look that we see in our steer that leads off. He's a little plainer up through his neck, a little deeper in his shoulder. But, man, is this dude stout. When you get behind him, he's big back, big-ended, really powerful as he comes to the ground. I'd like to elevate him a little bit, stretch him out some. But I think in this class he fits right there really good. Young man steer that comes next, another steer that I toyed with going up a hole with him because he doesn't have the hair coat maybe that the two steers go right ahead of him, and he's pretty nice calf. I mean, he's got a good pattern to him. He's got some body and rib to him. He's not as stout when you get right around behind him, but he's got plenty of muscle, really good down his top line. We just like to get him a little more power right when you get behind him to challenge those two steers. Young lady's black and white steer, another big bone, really stout featured individual, a steer that's got some look to him as well. He gets a little straighter up on his front end, Kind of even wants to toe in just a little bit as he goes, but he's a calf that's got some power and product to him. Young lady steer that comes next, another steer that has some style and balance to him, maybe not quite the body or depth that we see in those steers up above. Once again, I'd like to free him up on those rear two. Young lady steer that comes next, that's a real intriguing one. He was one that kind of, he gives you trouble, in my opinion, as a show judge, because you appreciate a lot of good things about him. He's got an awesome look to him, really big centered, really big back, really powerful from behind. Man, he struggles awfully hard off both ends. He wants to get even a little soft on a knee when you get him out here. But when you're just sitting there looking at him tied up, I'm sure you'd wonder how in the world would a steer go that far down. But I think he's just way too challenged structurally to go up any higher. The white steer that comes next, I appreciate the quality and look that this calf has. He's really well balanced and nice from a side profile. He just runs out of power when you get around behind him. He gets really flat muscled, not much shape in that lower stifle at all. Young lady steer that winds up the class much the same way. That's a steer that gets a little tight and restricted off both ends, doesn't have quite the body or power, but is a really nice set of steers, just really challenging there on the top end. Congratulations to these exhibitors.
And your percentage Simmental show, Class 3, first.
Well, I'm back here. Gerald, he sure liked the one to lead off the class. It sounded like, and I think as you listen to him work down there, structure was extremely important. I mean, he's going to be a stickler on that today. It looks like, and when he's got one that can go, he's going to that's got the other stuff too. Obviously, structure is going to separate them today. We got class 4 coming in the ring now. These are steers, as you can see, 1297 to 1335. We're starting to get a little bit closer to that meat and potatoes that everybody anticipates. Last class was the first in that class was Carly Burkheimer. Second was Trujillo Rodriguez. So here we are, class 4. Market steers 1297 to 1335. Hey, we're back. Got my trusty sideline reporter back in-house here. We were having just too much technical stuff going on for our gig right yet. So we will try to maybe get a little bit of footage from where he was at to add in here. But
It was going to be really cool. We just did not have enough cell service to get that to play out.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt. There's no doubt about it. We gave her a whirl and it didn't work, and so we'll just sit in here and talk about these things. Luckily, Corey knows a good bit of the cattle and the kids, and so I think it's something that is exciting.
Class 4. We are on Class 4. Some steers that I seen this class down there in the Make-Ready area before we came up here. There's a calf of Brian McKay's little girls. Camden McKay's in this class, looked awful nice. Oh, and then I don't know if you heard me, but Sydney Wisninski, Jeff Wisniski's there from Cardinal Cattle Company in Illinois. His daughter has a Here I Am Tyson that come from Van Hope Cattle there in South Dakota.
Okay.
In this class, and I thought he looked awfully nice.
Yeah, so I was just visiting, I guess, with myself and those watching here, but looks to me like when it comes right down to it, they better be able to get around and go. He likes some good structure. So like them colorful so far.
Yeah. I tell you what, that calf that comes out of that first class, I was telling you earlier today that, them first couple of classes usually, in Louisville here, they're a little light, a little immature, and it's hard to think they're going to be real competitive. But I tell you, that one of that first class, he's a really good calf.
Right. Gotcha.
Just a little light, but he's a good calf.
Here we go, steers 1297 to 1335. We're starting to get a little bit
getting up there.
Get on in that range that if you're an outlier weighing 1335, 1340, you're a player.
Oh yeah.
So
no doubt about it.
There's no
this
doubt.
Class 4, we get to it looked to me like back in the barn, Class 7 was a class that a lot of people were talking about. There's a lot of
Class
heat in
7
that class. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm excited to see 7, but hey, right now we're on 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah,
we've had our cart in front of our horse twice today. Let's just keep a rein back in. Pony's tired of running in a circle. So,
did you hear much of Jakey?
Fortunate for me and the people watching, no, we didn't have to hear much of Jakey. So, but
all right.
No, I like the guy. So what you got? What?
Well, he just said how cool, we were right on top of that ramp and the green shavings and stuff. And that comes down into Freedom Hall there. And he just said how cool, that's in terms of showing livestock. I mean, it's sure one of the cool parts of going to national shows. And it's just a spot that everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm. So while we got you hooked in here, obviously this is brought to you by Cattle Drive Live. It's a new venture of Corey and myself and Paige Jones and my wife, and something we're really excited about. It is for lack of better words, Corey, like a sports center for our world.
Yeah, we were trying to imitate or mirror an NFL game. That's what we were trying to do with when we started there. We just didn't have enough cell signal to carry it. I was down in the Make-Ready area trying to get some behind the scenes footage, interviews with people, and that's what we're trying to give you, the same experience that they give you on Sports Center, in a livestock setting.
Absolutely. And each week at the Cattle Drive Live, Mondays at 7. That's the setting we want. I think we want to bring the news to you. We want to be unbiased. Let you know those good sales, let you know who's doing what, good averages. Hopefully have some real interesting guests. Gosh, those of you that are listening to us ramble right now, I can tell you Monday night, National Western, they brought out the big gun for the big interview. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be It's going to be quite a deal.
Do we tell them now or not? Let's hold off for a little while.
We better.
Let's hold off.
We better
Let's
wait
hold
until
off.
we get
Let's
full
hold off.
confirmation and
Yeah. I think we got confirmation.
Yeah.
I think we just build anticipation. But
Yep. We will announce it. We'll announce it tomorrow.
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Tomorrow.
We'll announce who it is
Monday.
Monday. 7 o'clock. Join in with this All Things National Western with Clancy Anderson and special guest from the National Western.
Yep. Looks like he's going to walk 7.
Yeah, I really do think so. So there he goes. He is going to walk some of these things, isn't he? Sure enough, he just give them the old 1, 2. Let's see what you got here. So, but you're right. The guy walked 7 of them. The water's deep.
Pretty good because he just got one of those 8 placed before he walked them again.
There he's starting to peel them off a little bit.
He's
right
plucking
there.
them in.
So he's gonna start. He's gonna start.
He just
pulling some of these things right here on the go, and
down to 5 or down to 4.
Yeah, we are. Those of you.
Looks like
we getting to cheat just a little bit. Not only are we getting to see the screen you guys are watching, but we're also getting to see these things live as well.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and when I say live, we're looking right up over the top, see the whole screen. So,
you bet.
Yeah, so he's going to get them down here to 4 right
7.
now. Who we got? We got
17 is Morgan Neal.
Okay.
She's from Ohio. That second one is
the
Brian
McKay
McKay's daughter.
girl. Yeah.
Cannot. And then we got Wisninski there. That's in the 4. They haven't placed him yet, but she's in 4th. And then I can't.
That's
Steve's
30.
got that.
That little boy right there got the orange on.
He's walking.
Making
80,
him a circle. How about just straight up 80?
Straight up 80. Right there we got Greer Jones. And he is from Alabama.
There we go. Gotcha.
Yeah, boy,
hey. Was that the steer that we saw this summer from the Maine Junior Nationals? It was from Alabama.
Boy, it sure could have been.
Remember, he wins.
Brundage, Indian or Alabama.
I just seem like remembering that name. That may not be. If it's not, I don't hope I didn't step on any toes. But we got some quality right here.
Boy, he is. He is taking his time, and he has hit a wall in terms of what to do.
Yeah. Well, we just talked about it. You know, we're in the meat and potatoes, just right at the edge of the plate, right here, getting into the ones that I feel like. And I don't want to speak because you never know, but I think a sure enough outlier weighs 1335. You're a player, and I don't care if the heater class is 6 or 7.
Definitely.
From this moment forward, you should be market ready.
Absolutely.
And quality there, you better be thinking, come get you some.
He pulled the McKay girl in.
Sure did. Yeah, he's I think he's fixing to do that. That's he motioned. Yeah, he motioned. Yeah, you bet. You know, and I don't know what he'll do. You know, we're down to 3. We're down to 3 steers here, and gosh, I don't know what he does. You know, those ones on either end are pretty handy.
We're down to Morgan Neal.
We are down. That's right.
Yep,
pulled that one. There you go.
Yep. We're down to Morgan Neal, and we're down to Wisninski.
Okay.
Sydney Wisninski from Indiana or from Illinois.
Okay.
And I mean, he has come to. I know. As I was walking back up here, Brett, I ran into Brian McKay, and he said, "Boy, Gerald's flying," and he has. He kind of whip through them first classes, but now we have hit a wall, and he's slowed up.
Right. I don't know what he's going to do. He's sure enough he don't know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Don't you know if you're a parent right now watching JB, you're just thinking, come on, would one of you please just put us somewhere. Look at there. There he did. Yep. 17.
Morgan Neal. He used the one out of Bellevue, Ohio to win. And then Sydney Wisninski for second in this class.
So let's go to Gerald and get his remarks.
They definitely stepped it up a notch here when we started this class, and these steer, they're getting a little bit more in this fighting weight as well, but the quality, I'm telling you, here on the top end is really good, and that's what makes it fun when you get a sorting cattle like this. The young lady steer that's going to win, I guess really, to be honest, he's kind of won from the time he walked in the ring. That steer hit me pretty hard. He just does a lot of the right things for me. I mean, he's kind of got the look. Steer that's got some length and extension to the front end, and he comes out high out of his shoulder into his neck. But, you know, more importantly is how he ties down his top line, how level and square he stays, and how wide and stout he is when you get around behind him. A calf that's beautiful in his underline of how he balances up. Or whirls of bone and structure there. No doubt he's put together about as good as you can put one in place here. And I think it's just a really, really nice steer to lead off this class. And I think he does it. I think they're really similar between these top two. But I think when you go to just weighing out the nickels and dimes, I think he's got just a little bit more bells and whistles up through that front end than our steer that comes second. Our second place steer from his shoulders back, man, he's impressive. He's so massive down his top line, extremely explosive when you get around behind him. I love the balance and the style he's got. Now, I'll tell you, this young lady right here can put it on you, too. Now, she has got the stick hand. She never missed one time when this steer was out here. She had him nailed every time, and she probably gets more out of him because he is just a skosh planer up through his front. She keeps that head pulled up out of him and keeps the right look. But I love the body and the shape of this calf, the power that he brings to us. Just a really good individual here as well. Congratulations to both of those. It stays tough. With our third place steer that comes around, another real stout built steer, extremely explosive when you get around behind him. He's big backed and powerful. We get him on the go if he gets to going a little quick. He wants to break apart in his loin ever so slightly. I'd like to change that about him. He's not quite as neat up through his shoulder and his forerib as those two steers that go ahead of him, but this is awfully good steer here as well. Your young lady steer that comes fourth, he's given her a little bit of trouble out here, and she stuck with him and done a good job. But he's a good pattern steer, a steer that's got that same length and extension to his front. He's not as square from hooks to pins, not as nearly as stout when you get around behind him as those cattle that go right ahead of him. Young lady's a black and white steer that comes next. This is a steer that he's the best structured one of this top end. He can reach out and go, and he's easy moving, good in his angles, good on his feet. If we could just power him up. When you get around behind him, probably explains a little bit of it. When you get them as stout as those steers are that go ahead of them, they probably, with that extra muscle, that probably tightens them up just a little bit. But this one, if we could just get more width and power when we get around behind him, he could challenge those on the top end because he does definitely have a beautiful pattern. Young lady does an awesome job with him as well. Young man's red steer that comes next, another really stout built one. He's wide-based and really powerful. I just like to see this calf loosen up on the move, and he's a little steeper up in his shoulders compared to those steers ahead of him. But, man, he's a powerful one that the young man's done an awful good job with. Yeah, young lady steer that comes next, he's the one that's got a little bit more frame size to him. He's the largest framed one of the class, but he's got some power and muscle to go with it. I just like to soften him up, maybe stretch him out up in his front 1/3. Young man steer that comes next, another one we'd like to see him reach out and go a little freer and easier, and just doesn't have quite the balance as those steers ahead of him. Young lady steer that comes next, another steer that's got some hip and power to him. We'd just like to balance him as well. And the young man steer that winds up the class, a steer that's got some look and freshness up through his front end. He just needs to be powered up and balanced up a little better to go any higher. Awfully good class of steers. A lot of power there on the top end. Give these young people a round of applause. Heck of a good job.
Hey, we're back. We're back. JB finished up talking to class, pretty thorough with his thoughts, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, from top to bottom. So they're just starting to come in here, and got class 5, 1338 to 1375. We're starting to get in there. Oh, Yeller doesn't want to come. Look here. Come on. Come on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh. Uh-oh. Here he goes. He said, "Hey, I've been in here before. Let me show you how this is done." Said my buddy said he likes them moving like a cat. Check this out.
We got some couple 3 Iowa steers. We got
Whoop, there he goes again. Oh, here we go.
got 3
Y'all can't
Ohio,
see it. They're
four,
gonna get him.
4 steers out of Ohio in this class.
Hey,
one-
you know, speaking of Ohio, okay, I feel like Louisville is a big East, gets a huge Eastern following. And I think, do you think that's their kind of national show?
Oh yeah.
To
It's
where
their-
Fort Worth, you get a lot of
Yeah.
Southern guys, and I got a text message from a friend of mine a little bit ago that's from back east, and they said, just the importance of Louisville to the Eastern region is equally as Denver would be to the Western Slope, or Fort Worth Cattlemen's Congress to the south, and so
absolutely,
it's gives them another chance, another place to go with a market steer, and so I was over here digging around a minute ago on this live feed. Pete White's watching. He ought to be calving a cow or something, right? Thinking about putting embryo in.
Yeah.
So I didn't know he had time.
He usually runs a couple of them.
A couple, yeah. I'd say a couple is right. So
boy, they are having a booger of a time with this gold steer.
Yeah. Well, that they are. They'll get him caught here in a minute. He knows his days are numbered.
He is having a rough go.
He saw that little wagon outside. Yeah. Guys, I just don't know that I'm ready to go. So,
got a big scimitar show on the other side of the ring today.
For that they do. Who is that over there? Is that Randy Mullinex?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Boy, he freaking just jumped away from him again.
Oh, Whitey. Oh, here we go. They got him hemmed up in the corner now. Look here. Everybody's got him hemmed up here. There's somebody's talking sweet to him. I bet they got him now. Look at this right here. I say, yep, here. Oh, he says, no bueno, amigo.
He don't seem like he's
no, it looks spoiled.
Too wound up. He just
I think he's just spoiled.
Boy, he's trying.
I told you, he done heard. He's heard that JB likes them mobile, and he says, let me show you a little trick.
It's too bad because that calf looks.
Yeah.
He looks good.
He's fresh.
Yeah.
Look at him. That's good calf too.
Yeah.
Good calf. I don't know which one he is. That little girl's 31.
Okay.
Is her exhibitor back number.
Kaylee Cooper is her
Kaylee
name.
Cooper. Okay. Kaylee. Yep. Here we go. I don't know what they're gonna. They got him hemmed up. Whoop! There he goes. Look here, Corey. Just running right across the ring.
I mean to tell you.
Yeah. Is he watching?
What?
Tell him, tell that guy that we'd be happy to do some investigating for him if he'd be oblige us with his presence.
He's wanting. Wondering who owned that calf that was won the first class.
Yeah, that guy knows a good one when he sees one. So, hey, Scott Werning's here with us. Check this out. I'm just over here on my phone checking it out. We got me and you both are watching ourselves.
Oh yeah.
It says Peeps is on. Hello, Peeps. Heath Kohler, Oklahoma buddy of mine. Mike Bagley was on. Kim Herman's on. That could be Todd.
Could be.
Yeah, his internet presence is slim.
We finally.
Hey, we're getting them. We're getting them in here now.
Walking them in now.
Class 5. We'll try this again. 1338 to 1375. I'd say from class 4, class 5, class 6, 7s.
Yep.
We're
Eight's going to be a good class.
8 is okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're all going to be good then.
Yeah.
So.
Holy buckets! What is that?
Hey, they're still coming in. Oh, it's a dark colored red one just come through the gate, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was wondering what that gal. What's her number?
One with the green? Is that one the one you're asking about?
No,
or
the gal in the pink.
Gal
pink
with the
sweater.
pink. I don't know. We'll
watch
our
her
vantage
around.
point here.
For 53 in that class is Chloe Rodgers from Iowa City, Iowa.
Okay. Seemed like I heard of her before.
Yeah, that does sound.
You know? Who seems like she's, you know.
I think that could be that family that I think that's that family that Russ Harkman helps. Pretty sure.
Could be.
Yeah, I think that girl had reserve steer to Iowa State Fair this year. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay.
There's a silver steer in there, 38. That one belongs to Drew Jacobson. Drew's from Osceola, Iowa.
Think those guys carpooled here?
Got a strong showing in Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, a minute ago we had a trailer full of them from
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, and now we got a trailer full of them from Iowa. So,
yeah.
JB's putting no feel good on them, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look at there, just walking around. Those of you that do not know, we did have a few little difficulties getting wound up here. Gerald Buck from Madill, Oklahoma is your steer judge for today. So you got the chance to visit with him here in the media room just prior to the steer show. And he almost a little jittery, just with excitement. I don't think he was scared to judge the steers by any means. I think he was just genuinely ready to get fired up and see the quality. You bet.
Yeah.
Hey, what's so black and white one?
Yeah, that's that Rodgers steer. That is that family that Russ Harkman helps there from Iowa. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
There he is turning out right there and going around. So that's the that's the Rodgers family from Iowa. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what that calf is.
I'm pretty sure he's a no guts, no glory.
No guts, no glory.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody will. I can tell you this. All we need to do is call him something he's not.
Yeah.
And somebody will correct us. So
that's, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I talked to Russ when I was down there, and he said he's a no guts, no glory.
Gotcha.
I don't know who raised that calf, but
yeah,
he is a freaky. If you want him long necked, he's the grand champion.
These things are deep.
Yeah.
The front end of these things, it's no slouch.
That last class was really good.
Mm-hmm. There's been some really good. Every one of these class winners have been pretty good. So, once again, this is probably a lot different, a little different for what we're trying to do. As far as Cattle Drive Live goes, I don't think we're going to try to make it a habit of voicing over a whole lot of shows, some special stuff, some market stuff, maybe a junior nationals or two. And we're so thankful that Show Barn Flicks let us use their feed today. And they do such a good job. The Kansas City deal was awesome, and then they're here again. And so one thing I will tell you, you'll see in the corner of our feed that got the bottom show cattle online sale coming up the 15th day of November, which is tomorrow. their first ever online sale. Get a hold of Steve, get a hold of Little Bob, get a hold of Baylor. We got to feature those guys the other day on our new Drive marketing platform. And those of you who haven't seen that, go to Cattle Drive Live and video and look up those Drive marketing videos. You're going to start to see more of them.
And actually, Brett, in this class, that third calf that's shown by 38, he's shown by Drew Jacobson there from Iowa. That's a bottom calf that was sold by Joe Hare there in Iowa.
There
He
you go.
went down to Steve's and got that calf.
Okay. So the young man there,
The silver,
he was
silver
probably
calf
about the
that's-
third one
Yep.
that rounded the corner here a minute ago. Okay.
Yep, he come in the ring third.
Gotcha. One from the bottom crew.
Mhm.
There you go. And then look here, they're going to give you an opportunity on Show Circuit online sales November 15th. To get you next champion. Boy, they were good the other night, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
I can't get over how good I thought the Black Baldy was. You know, the one that star in his head,
Yeah.
the Black Baldy.
He was an icon.
Oh yeah. But you know, did you think they were going to just put some slouches in there?
No,
Never.
they're gonna
Shoot.
they're gonna highlight that deal if they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it right.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Now he's starting to kind of get down here to where he's going to start making a move.
That girl, the number 4 calf, I cannot place that calf. Haley Stevens, there from Jeromesville, Ohio.
Gotcha.
Do not know who sold that calf, but he looks awfully nice out there as well.
Which one?
But she's second to last now.
Second to last one. Yep, I got you.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he's fixing to get. Here we go. Now we're starting to whittle on him pretty good. He's yep. He's gonna come right up here and get him a little. There you go. Come on with me. Come on down. Right there. Oh, look at him. Now he went the other way. He knows what he's wanting.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, he's having a lot tougher time on the front end of these classes, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got whittled down to about 7 of them.
Yeah, how many classes of these steers are there? Do you know?
There is, I can tell you.
9,
we
10?
got the technology.
We got more technology. We know what to do with.
10, yeah. There's
10
exactly
classes. We're on
10
class
classes.
5. There we go.
We are halfway through this deal.
Not quite. He's not quite finished with class 5. He's Yep, he's whittling away little by little. So
Tell you what, let's go back and look and see what we've had for class winners so far.
yeah.
At
So
class
what did
1,
you have in class 1?
Class
That's the old
1.
gray one that you just keep
I tell
talking
you
about.
I tell you what,
What you got?
that's out of a Bushy Park cow that
Who's that?
when Walker's bought, when Willow Springs bought Bushy Park, that was out of a cow that I bought from Jeff Berg in South Dakota. She was an Amen out of Snowball's mother, and that was an In God We Trust out of her.
Really? Okay.
Well, she was. She
So
was.
I think you might have knew that. You were
No,
looking
I-
for a reason to
I
you
swear-
were looking for
I
a reason
swear,
to pump your own tires.
I
So
really,
I'm gonna find one in a minute that comes from me, and then
I really,
they don't know. And
really like that cow. I genuinely did. I just got on the pulse right now and seen that that's who raced it. But
you genuinely did
That-
like that. Kid.
yeah,
I'll give you credit.
that
I
calf
like
that was
it.
second in that class was a bleeding purple that Runkles raised there.
Bleeding
Sold,
purple.
yeah, the old
bull.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
Monopoly son.
Yeah.
And he was sold by Raymond Gonay and Reeves and Bridges.
Okay. he's got these on the move again here, Corey. I'm telling you, you get them down, they better be able to go today because he boy. And then sometimes if that's your MO, that's how you sort those things. If you're a structure guy, sort them on structure when it gets close, and if you're a big muscled up powered guy, get after it. So and I mean you can look right here. I think he's gonna take these 3 steers. I think he's made his mind up. I think he'll let them get set, make sure he clicks in his mind, and he'll go to pulling these things. I don't think we're too far away from a decision to be made. And there you go, bam, bam, and shoot, there was no doubt. So going back through and checking out kind of what he's got, big deep class like that, you don't want to maybe get in too much of a hurry. He's going to the mic. Let's listen to what OJB thinks of him. We'll get it right out of his mouth right here.
Once again, we have an extremely powerful set of steers here in this class. I think the top end of them are really good, and I think we've got one that just kind of dominates the class, in my opinion, that comes to the top. This smoke steer here, I think that he just puts so much together, the way his balance is, his look. Combine that with power and structure, I think he excels the group real easy in my mind. You just back off of this calf, and you have to appreciate the balance that he has, how well he blends together from end to end. A calf that comes to the ground on a really nice feet, good feet and good legs. A calf that's got, he's kind of a total package. He puts a lot of really, really good parts and pieces together and does it in an awfully attractive way. I think it's a little closer between the 2 black and white steers that come second and third. I'm going to go with the steer that I think has more power to him. When you get behind him, he's probably a little better as he comes to the ground as well. But I think that the big difference is about a muscle and about a shape that he has, the amount of body and rib. He's not as neat up in his neck and his chest maybe as the steer that comes third, but there's so much more product in this one. I felt like that's what moved him to that second hole. I like this stocking-legged steer that comes next. He does have a cool look to him, really nice up to his front, really he ties in his shoulder really good. But as you can see when he goes, he wants to paddle off his front end, not quite as coordinated there off either end when he gets on the go. Young man's white steer that comes next, you're talking about a good steer that's obviously fed extremely well. He's got a little bit more waist to him, but this calf has just all kinds of body and rib, and he's got muscle to go with it. When you get behind him, he's as stout as anything in the class. He's just a little bit more compact, not quite the length and extension, maybe not quite the style and balance that we see in those steers, but one that's packed full of muscle. He's good enough as he comes to the ground. We just like to neaten him up and trim him up there in his lower 1/3 a little bit. Beautiful pattern steer that comes next. There's not one any longer neck, any better looking than the steer that comes next from a side profile. He's extremely attractive, real square down his top line, big bone and just really big featured when you talk about his feet and his legs. But we get around behind him and he disappoints us quite a bit. He's just way too flat, not enough muscle shape, not enough power to run with those guys right ahead of him. Young lady steer that comes next, another a good quality steer. I like the frame size and the kind that he is. I just don't think that he puts quite the look and quite the balance that we see in those steers ahead of him. Young man steer that comes next, I felt like that pair was really close. This is another steer that's got quality to him. He's got some muscle. We just like to see him balance up just a little bit better to go up any higher. The red steer that comes next, a steer that once again has got some muscle shape and power to him. He needs to be more flexible, more balanced in order to move up any higher. And a young lady steer that winds up the class, another real attractive built one that's got some length and extension to his front end. Good in his top line. He just gets a little higher up in his flank, a little tighter flank, maybe not quite the rib and volume that we see in those cattle ahead of him. Good class of steers there. Let's give these young people a round of applause once again.
Alrighty. That was class 5 right there. And the winner of that class was Drew Jacobson. That calf was sold by Joe Herr and in Iowa there, and purchased by or from Steve Bonham in Newcastle, Oklahoma.
Really? There you go. Winter chicken dinner. Got class 6 coming in here, Corey. 1379 to 1,396 pounds.
Boy, we are getting into
they're
the heat
just
of the battle
still
now.
coming in. Yep. Seems like every class we've had some color.
Mhm.
We haven't had a solid black
Yeah.
class yet. They've been black and white. We got looks like, is that a roan coming in right here? Look like a little strawberry.
Yep.
Little strawberry shorthorn coming in here, class 6.
You go back through and look a little more into what's been doing good. Got class 2. That calf was an In God We Trust that was sold by Raker Show Cattle, sold by Nelson, England there in Illinois, shown by Michael Frisbee. Second in that class was a General Lee, bred by Ashley Peterson, sold by Richie Brothers Show Steers there and shown by Garrison Seedley.
Hey, what was that go again? Richie's?
Yep.
Went
Yep.
to college with those guys. You know?
Yep. Shane
and Wes.
Wes, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Went to college with both of them. Just 2 real good guys, you know.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Talented. You
Yep.
ever seen him run a set of shears?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, good.
At one time, I thought I was as good as him, but that was just me. I never was as good as them Richie brothers. They were pretty handy. So
The class 3 there was sired by Neon Moon, sold by Brad Hanowich, and shown by Carly Berkheimer.
Yep. Hey, that was a really good. That was a really
It was
good.
a nice
calf.
yellow
Yeah,
steer.
it
Had
really
big
was.
old fat legs on it.
Mhm.
And then second in that class was a One Oak, bred by the Hess family there, sold by Rock and KP Ranch. And I tell you, Yesman, boy, that's quite a name. Yesman Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's actually
Mrs.
Mrs.
Okay, there we go.
Rodriguez, yeah.
Well, good thing you saw the
Yep.
picture.
Yep,
So,
yep. Mrs. Rodriguez. And then in class 4 there, winner was Morgan Neal. That's a Fu Manchu sold by Dunk Cattle, Ryan Duncloud there in Wayne, Nebraska.
hey, look at there. Come from good buddy, Brad Weingartner.
Yep, and sold by Brad and Tyler and Curtis Klingman sold that calf to Morgan Neal, Fu Manchu calf. And then second in that class was the Here I Am, raised by Rob Van Hove there in South Dakota, sold by Wade Rodgers, shown by Sidney Wisninski.
JB, he's going to give him a good old rub down, a little massage. He's going to find the one he likes.
He's really handling him, isn't he?
Yeah, and really taking his time, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's talk early that he was flying and he was, you know, but I think I would say that when he can go, he's going to go. And
yeah, if it's not hard, why make it hard?
Yeah, absolutely. Just don't give him, look at there, we don't give him too much credit.
Yeah.
But
You know,
making an effort to really get down in that hair. These things are so woolly here.
You bet.
But
yep. Yeah, we got a big episode coming up Monday night on the Cattle Drive Live. Like Brett said, we've got a very, very special guest that the Denver Stock Show called upon to represent them. It's going to be an awesome show that you won't want to miss.
no, you're not going to want to miss it. Really, if I really don't think you're going to want to miss any Monday night episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not going to take it lightly. You know, coming down the pike, we've talked to some pretty big names that would like to be a part of it and get in, and some that we need to visit with again before we can announce. But hey, it's something different, you know. I mean, it's a vision that maybe I had, and I'll just tell you that my vision was only enhanced by you and Paige and my wife Lacey, and there's just so much coming down the road here, and just to be honest with you, it's it's about positivity and no drama, and there's a lot of good news. There's a lot of good people in this business. I do hope that after this steer show, we're going to be able to get a little bit of footage of these kids that maybe win this show. I'd like to see a little small video of that champion steer, that exhibitor, and get that raw footage of that emotion. Gosh, we got to sit here and watch some junior win the Shorthorn show, and they just hugged and loved on each other. And those people, they're like us. They work at it every single day, or probably harder, maybe. And we want that emotion and bring that to the table. And lots of fun stuff happening, and it's new. It's all new. It's going to take a minute to get a hold of, but we're pumped, and seem like we've had a lot of engagement from people here in Louisville, just saying, hey man, that we really, really like that. So those of you following along right now, drop us a line on here and let us know you're watching, where you're watching from.
Well, they can't see it in the camera right now because that gentleman's cowboy hat's covering Gerald up, but Gerald's having a hard time getting his hands on that calf in first there. He's actually got a Scotch combing on him, trying to get him used to him, get his hands on that calf.
I think he was wanting to comb on old JB with his feet. He said, give me that comb there, big boy. I'll show you a little trick.
That calf must have a little bit of spice to him, because that's the one that got away earlier. That's the Bedecker calf out of Oklahoma. I would just about bet you that is that's probably a Bonham calf there, if I was to guess.
Well, and like I said, I figure if we're wrong, we'll get fixed. But we'd like to once again thank our sponsor here today for the steer show, Bonham Show Cattle. They've got a sale coming up the 15th of November. First ever online sale in Newcastle. So it was good. We mentioned it earlier, but we've got to have them on our new Drive marketing platform and visit with them about this sale coming up. And I was really impressed. Dadgummit, if he's listening, and he's probably not, I really wanted the Colonel. We got second. We got second and third out of the deal, but I was really wanting old Colonel on there. We'll trick him someday. We'll have him on there.
But I would bet you he's either auctioneering or gathering some calves up, probably.
I bet he ain't sitting around listening to me and you. And if he is, you just reminded him that he had other things to do. So. A little working on the camera issue here with our crew. It's all right. We were in that same deal earlier. We were working on our cameras too. So
I don't know what we got going on.
What we got here, we've got a full frontal of me and you. Is what we
looks
got.
like.
Hey, look here.
Yeah.
Show that off. What's the other side?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cattle Drive Live. So.
Merchandise.
Yeah. Had a guy asked me earlier. He said, "Hey, what's the guy got to do to get one of them
I know.
coats?" And I said, "I'll just tell you, they come like dead men. Just one to a box right now. So just hang tight. Yeah, one to a box.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
it looks like they are. There we
go.
Yeah, the gals were sure jostling around there trying to figure out what they had going on.
Yeah, they weren't scrambling like we were earlier. I didn't even get to enjoy the Angus show today because we were scrambling. So Gerald, he's got just getting no eye on him right now. He's got him a few whittled off.
boy, someday we are going to get this perfected to where we can do that. Because I'm telling you, when I was walking around there, I know you couldn't see it, but I'm telling you, the people were liking it.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be really, really cool.
It's going to be.
Yeah, we just gotta get a little more scientific with our equipment.
I really think it wasn't necessarily equipment as much as our internet
just the internet
service
connection. Yeah,
it's so tough here in this building,
but
but hey, I'm excited a little bit about the opportunity that maybe moving forward with Showbone Flicks and working together with Cattle Drive.
Maybe
in
next
some
year
special
be able to
stuff.
do something. Yeah,
Absolutely. And it's not going to be, I don't know about you. I don't want to go to every Junior Nationals and talk.
Yeah.
But I would like to do a market steer show in Denver or Louisville or Kansas City possibly and bring our two deals together and get these guys an experience like no other. So it's coming down the road. Hang with us. But I think he's gonna consider putting these. What is there? 4, 5 of them. He acts like he's getting him a pass, and I bet he does. It's kind of been his MO today. Let's get me the ones I like, and there we go. Yep, and there they go. That girl right there in the purple, is that who is that? 340. We got 13 left. 28, 42, 13, 28, 42, 30. He pulled, who we got there? 40. Who is that in the purple? That's 34.
34.
And 63.
Now 34 is Cameron Choate
from Texas.
I would bet.
Yeah. John Choate.
That'd be probably a Todd Caldwell.
Could be a Choate and Geyer. And, or a Choate and Caldwell. Yeah. And Brandon Jones deal. 63 is down there on the end of it. Look like they got one whittled out there. There goes old 42. What's this 13?
That's that Bettiger calf. That'd be another Bonham calf.
Okay. Oh man, good looking rascal. My gosh.
Yeah, that's the Bettiger calf.
28.
28 is Wisninski.
Paisley
Wisninski from Elk City, Oklahoma.
Okay. Gotcha. And then we go to Cameron Choate.
Yeah.
And then we go to 63. Who'd you say?
Hunter Royer. I bet
Hunter
you that's
Royer.
Steve from Indiana. Steve Royer.
There you go. Steve Royer's daughter. Well, that one of Choate's. Well, look how opened up that thing is from Indian. I mean, you talk about packing. Look at the wheels underneath that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, big wheels.
Boy, he has got a big back.
Yeah, what'd you say the other night? Husky booger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're okay. We got.
He pulled out the Royer.
I think that's what it sure. No, that one was Cameron was making a circle.
Okay.
What is he gonna do here?
Yeah.
Yep, he did pull that one out, and he'll be getting his mind made up here in just a second. Oh, excuse me. Well, made his mind up. Cameron Choate, what it looks to me like, followed by 13. Number 13. We'll go to Gerald.
Hallsworth, Chillicothe, Ohio. Coming into the ring now, we're ready to select our Division II champion in reserve, percentage Simmental female. Class 8 should be in the makeup ring.
Over here in our steer arena, we have really an outstanding class. I think from top to bottom, there's a lot of quality, and it's challenging here on the top end. These top 4 or 5, I think they really get tough, and you just got to figure out where you want to hang your priorities. And they're all good cattle, and they're all cattle that's got a lot of really good parts to them. You just kind of got to get things tied together or what fits you the best. This young lady steer that's going to lead off the class, I think he just excels the class in the amount of power and muscle and shape that he's got, how he ties himself together from end to end. He's not truly blessed with the best hair coat, and that kind of takes away from him just a little bit. But when you look at what the product you got and how much mass and power that he has and how he ties together there at the top of his shoulder, he's not the longest necked one, but he's good necked. He's good necked, and boy, you look at his undercarriage of how well he ties together in his chest floor, maintains that width and dimension down low. Of course, he's just monster boned and really, really stout when you get around behind him. I think a real high quality one there. And in my mind, he dominates the class when you think about all the power and mass that he brings and still puts it together in an attractive package. Young man steer that comes second, he's about as good looking as you can make one. He's extremely attractive. That's where it got really tight between the second and third place. I think he excels in how good he ties together in his forerib, over his top line, how he comes out high out of his neck, a calf that's got body and rib shape. He's not as stout as our third place steer, but I think he blends together so much better than that calf. I love the attractive look. I don't particularly like his attitude, but I like the calf for quite a bit. And young man done a good job with him. This is a good steer that comes third. And sometimes he can kind of get a little sleepy on the young lady. And when he does, he wants to get easy in his top. He's got just a little bit of shoulder, so it kind of makes him a little coarser up through his front 1/3. Maybe doesn't blend together as well as the steer that goes second. But, man, he is powerful when you get behind him. He's good as he comes to the ground. I just like to neaten him up and make him just tie together better through that front 1/3 to go up any higher. But young lady did a good job there. Congratulations. The one that comes next, one of the most intriguing ones to me in the class. When this young lady gets him nailed down on a side profile, you think, here's my calf. This is the one that's going to dominate the class. He can strike a look. I mean, unbelievable how neat and cool he is up through his front 1/3. He's got some body and rib and shape. Really just a world's of balance to him. But when you get him on the go, he wants to get up in his top. He kind of drops his pins. He's the shortest hip steer of the ones on the top end, but he is a stellar looking one at that. Young man steer that comes next, a steer from his shoulder back, really good. I like the power that he has down his top. I like the hip shape that he has. He gets a little bit plainer there up front. Maybe not quite the balance that we see in those steers ahead of him. Young lady's roan steer that comes around next, a real big-bodied, soft-centered steer, a steer that's extremely good feeding one. You can tell he's fed really good. He has a little bit, he doesn't have quite the pizzazz, maybe not quite that balance and look that we see in those other steers, but he does have muscle and power and shape, and young lady does an awesome job with him as well. Young lady that comes around next has got a bigger frame steer, real nice hip, real square built, stout made. I'd like to see this one reach out and go with a little more authority off those rear two in order to go up any higher. Young lady steer that winds up the class, another stout built steer, just needs to have more look and more pizzazz to him once again to go any higher. But good set of steers. Give these young people a round of applause. They've worked hard at this. Good job.
All righty, guys. That was class 6. We're moving into class 7.
Corey, you seem to think that the water's fixing to get deep.
I mean to tell you, I haven't seen all these cattle.
The very first one come through here,
but we're dealing with the class that is all these steers are as heavy as they can be and not be 1,400. There's still a couple 1,400 pounders, but these are all them 1397, 98, 99s. I mean,
So
there's
they
some
break from 1397 to 1400.
1400. Yep, there is some heat in here, guys.
Yeah, it looks right there coming through the gates. You've got exhibitor 12, Sage Martin from Texas. How about this? Brian Martin's daughter.
Yep.
We've got exhibitor 14. You know who that kid is?
Yeah.
Who is that? That's
Jay Fitter.
Jay Fitter's
Jay
right.
Fitter, Jackson Shrog from Marion, South Dakota.
That's exactly right. The heirs too, 605 sires, 605 shorthorn, 605, just everything 605. Probably on South Dakota before it's all said and done. 36, you got Olivia Caldwell.
Yep.
Seems to me like I think that's Todd Caldwell's daughter. Okay.
Yep.
21, Mr. Tommy Glover.
That's Dustin Glover's son.
Dustin Glover's son. That is Jamie Glover's son. So 52, Cassidy Bremer.
Yep.
Seems like I know some of that family too. I've heard of the Bremer
K&A
people.
Maines and Kevin Bremer's daughter.
That's exactly right. 88, Mr. Denver McKay.
Yep.
One of the absolute highlight young men in our business.
Yep.
Denver McKay. If you don't know Denver, take 5 minutes to introduce yourself to him. He is well-spoken, well-mannered. He's kind of my neighbor-ish, Oklahoma neighbor. I love that kid. 44, Rash, their last name.
Rash, R-A-S-C-H.
That's exactly right.
Carish Rash.
Okay. And then we got 55 is Carly Stith.
Yep.
And 85 is Corey Craig. Steers, 1397 to 1,400 pounds. They got a little technical difficulties too. I think what it is, maybe Showbarn Flicks would like to see us on their stream.
I think so.
You think they just
could be a
trying
lot
to
of it.
whittle me and you over there? I doubt it, but they're working on it though. Stay with us.
Well, I mean, this is going to take Gerald a minute to sort through. There's a lot of things to sort through in this class.
Right, I would agree. You know what the thing I like about me and you sitting down is?
What's that?
You don't look so tall.
I'll never forget when my boy Kai and Brett's boy Grady are the same age, and
Goat's boy
and Brian Gottemiller's boy, and at Junior Nationals one summer, they were all saying, Grady, how much taller he was than Spencer and Kai. And Brett said, I bet it don't stay that way.
No, it don't.
Them two string beans kept growing,
Yeah, exactly.
and Grady's about the same size.
Yeah,
He's a little bigger.
I think I sure think he cast a bigger shadow.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
there is no doubt about that.
He's going to make his way around these things and trying to get his hands on them. They're just so excited.
That steer Sages, that's a calf that Baylor and Stock are going to school together there at Stillwater, and that's a bottom steer there.
How about old JB? He's using one of bucking bull tricks. He's going to sneak up in there beside one of them,
He may put a cinch strap on before it's all said.
He may do. He'll end up getting the calf broke. Get his flank strap in there. A little bruiser trick.
That yellow steer earlier, I'm surprised he didn't throw up a score on it.
Oh, earlier? Yeah. We had somebody ask about that. Blake Nelson thought maybe if that yellow one needed a bucking score.
He was bucking hard enough. He'd have probably scored about an 81.
About an 81.
I don't know what a good score is.
Well, I don't either. I don't know. This year they said they broke the record twice. Same kid breaks the PBR record.
Really?
But on the same bull twice the same year.
Holy.
And I think the last one was at the PBR finals. So
wow.
Class 7, 1397 to 1,400. He's working his way through there, getting his hands on these things. Gosh, there's some heat here, isn't there?
Oh man, it's
wow.
Just there's a lot of things to sort through in this class. Types and kinds, muscle, freshness. It
There
is.
no doubt.
He's going to get down to about 5 or 6 of them, and he's going to have a hard time.
Hey, look at this one right here on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. I mean, there's just not really one in here that says I don't belong in here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a tough go.
Mm-hmm.
See if they got.
Hey, Peeps was on here. Peeps thought we looked like models.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know about that.
He's been out of the game a little while, apparently.
Yeah.
Clint Petzall's watching with us. How about that?
Hey,
there is an unbeknownst to the world friend of mine watching here.
Really?
Yeah. That he's not world champion auctioneer, and it's only because he's never went. But there's a guy from my hometown watching, Rick Griffin.
Oh, no kidding.
And all he's got to do is just enter.
Go.
He's really, really, he's really good.
Huh.
He owns part of he's a sports bookie, old private sports book. He gives insider trading to all the guys around town.
Really?
And they don't take any of his advice. And if you know him very well, you shouldn't either.
Huh.
But I just noticed Rick was watching.
Hey, going back to Class 5 there,
Yeah.
we got that calf was actually a Red Rocky, first impression. He was raised by Fry's there in Iowa. Rick Fry's
Okay.
wife.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one that you said was Bonham. And
Yep. And that was actually sold by
Tracy.
It was actually sold by Steve Bonham, Tracy Gretzka, and Joe Hare.
Okay.
Shown by
Yep,
Drew
with you.
Jacobson. That second place in that class, that big stout black and white steer, is a
Mhm.
Here I Am, sold by Ferguson. I would imagine Nolan Ferguson. He was shown by Wyatt Kelly.
The black and white one.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
good.
And then that last class that just come out of the ring, Class 6, that calf was a Here I Am out of an Ali cow, and he was sold by Todd Caldwell, Brandon Jones, and John Choate. He was shown by is Cameron like John's
niece?
Niece,
I
maybe?
think
Yeah.
niece.
I think
I
that's
sure
right.
think niece.
And then the second in that class was one of Bettiger's,
Okay.
and that was a made to order shown by
Made to
Bonham.
order. That made to order. That Monopoly Kelly deal.
Yep.
Of Wade's, right?
Yep, that's
Okay.
correct.
Gotcha. I tell you this. I don't
This
keep up
class.
with this Club Kef deal just enough to be on top of the pedigrees, but I have a big chance of being wrong.
Boy, this is some
Well,
kind of good.
and I'm telling you right now, JB's been real tough on structure, and I don't know that there's one of them in here that just
No,
says, "Hey, buddy."
They're all pretty
Go
good
get
structured.
me.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's
They're
some
all pretty
there-
nice structured.
Yeah, I would say there's 2, 4, 6, 7. There's 9 steers in here, and I'd say there's 7, 8 of these
Yeah.
things. If you want to just get right down to it, it's JB's day.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? There's 6 or 7 of them in here. You go to swapping judges and someone else's day,
Yeah.
and they have their priorities. There's quality.
Boy, there's a few of them. Look like they need to take a deep breath before they get on that weighback scale. They're big and stout. Oh my gosh. Look at the back. And
Maybe
I
you
wanna
just go
call
run
them
them. Maybe
as
just,
a
oh,
third.
I'm telling you. Look at that thing. Wow. Well, you said it. You called it about 3 classes
Mhm.
ago that you wait till this class 7 comes wheeling in here, and hey, they're here and they have got center stage. And hey, look over here. I don't know. We don't have the capabilities from where we're sitting to do this, but I wish y'all could see the crowd on the steer side right now, both levels, top and
Mhm.
bottom. I don't think you could melt and pour another person in there in those seats. It's just packed. And that side down there where those steers are, they're everywhere.
Neat. Going to see once if I switch this deal.
Yeah, maybe
See,
log in
I
and
was
see if
wondering if
I don't
it
know
would.
if Paige can make this happen, but he was going to log in through his phone. That way we could just show the amount of viewers on the steer side here.
Oh, hey,
They just turned her down.
Great grandpa had it set here.
Hopefully y'all can see this. Oh, wrong one.
Oh, I'll walk over here.
He's coming around. There we go. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
All righty.
We are in class 7, 13. You're still hot. 1397 to 1400. And the longer they stay in here, the better they get. Would you say?
What they do?
Those asking, there are 10 classes. We're in class 7. Those of you that's watching that possibly new here, Corey and I are in Louisville shooting the steer show. We are going to shoot the Supreme Heifer Drive this evening too, in the same manner. Hopefully we get to have Gerald with us to do that and get to visit with him about his thoughts of the steer show today. Obviously, we're trying to bring you some good content here for you watching at home, but as well, we're still hustling and trying to get you guys in Facebook land and social media land to continue to help us share the word of our new adventure, the Cattle Drive Live. And so it is a social media based platform that is all about media. We want to give you some news. We're going to report some sales. We're going to have special guests each week. Last week, Tyler Norvell with Cattlemen's Congress.
You bet.
And upcoming this week will be Clancy Anderson and a exciting special guest Monday night, 7:00, every Monday at 7. But we're here wanting you to get to see the steers, wanting to commentate a little bit. Hopefully we make it intriguing enough you stay with us today. Give you some insider stuff you can't get from some other sites while this is going on, and while we're at it, promote Cattle Drive Live. So it's been fun. It's just getting started, and nothing like hearing a little bit of noise, that you stirred up, and it's been fun. So
I think he's dang sure hit a wall here.
Think he'll text Matt here in a minute or
Boy,
Davey?
yeah.
Hey boys, I need.
What do I do now?
Yeah, I got an SOS coming out.
Phone a
Little
friend.
smoke signal.
Yeah.
Phone a friend. He says. I bet look here.
Oh boy.
Hey, when he went,
whipping him in.
he's fixing to go. He's pulling the old four finger pull right there. I'm pretty solid on. Yep. Here we go. And I don't know. I mean, we got out there right now 4 or 5. Look here, bam, bam, bam. He's mowed them down. And that's going to leave him 2. It's going to leave him Sage Martin, black steer. And that's going to leave us
Olivia
Caldwell, silver steer. And I don't know what he's fixing to do here. I don't know. He's walking around the back side of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, just watching, we kind of froze up here real quick. He just kept going like Forrest Gump. Like he just never stopped. Oh, there he is. He went to get his water.
Yeah.
Wetting his whistle while he goes to.
He hasn't placed these last 2, but he hasn't pulled them around like they're going to be first and second either.
No, and I would say when it's this stout, maybe that's what you do is go back and look at those other ones and clear your mind a little. I don't know. I've yet to be asked to do one of these things at this magnitude, so I'd say sometimes a drink of cold water and a walk through your other ones.
Yeah,
look here.
Oh,
Used his don't know. He acts like he's wanting to. He's coming back to the cattle. He's coming back over here. He's looking at these cattle again. I don't know. Here we go. What's he fixing to do? Looks like Olivia Caldwell wins the class. Sage Martin will be second. He places them, and I still don't know that he is in love with his decision as much as well. He could be waiting on the mic.
Mm-hmm. No, I think he's pretty solid right
You do?
Yeah. I think he's just waiting on the mic.
Yeah, boy. I'm just telling you, when it's that close, the last thing you want to do is give a guy an opportunity to shop a little longer.
Yeah.
I bet you Todd Caldwell right now would tell you can just talk mine later. Get me on that. Give me that blue. I need that blue ribbon.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, when we come back after a while, you can talk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And Brian and Sherry are wanting to know, hey, I want to know right now what the deal is. So
stock was down there. It looked like pacing a hole in the concrete.
Mm-hmm. Hey, those guys are competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Both families.
Oh, yeah.
There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deep here that are competitive everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
And Whitey reminds me of the class winner of Choates before this one. Just so opened up and so boxy and square built and stout to the ground. I mean, look at the wheels on that thing.
Yeah.
Wonder what he is, you know?
You kind of wonder if he wasn't an in God, but in God we trust. But we will find out from the pulse.
Yeah, he's burly now. I mean, Here we go. Let's go to Gerald and
a little more striking, give her a few more bells and whistles. And then the heifer that rounds out the class, we appreciate her length and her shapeliness when you get in behind her. Just gets a little harder made, if you will. Just like to drop down that flank and see her a bit looser structured.
I knew this class was coming. I've watched the steer show here enough to know that there's going to be a couple of these classes that are going to get really deep and really pretty fast track. And I think that we did that in this class. I think that the top end of them, I mean, they're good. And it's not just 2 or 3 of them. You go 5 or 6 steers deep, and they're extremely good. I thought this top pair was really close. I thought I think that both of them are extremely good individuals. The smoke steer that I'm going to use, I think he excels this class in how he ties himself together. I love the pattern he has. He's a steer that's got a good look to him. He's good down his top line. He maintains that width and power as he goes out of his hip. When you get around behind him, he's got worlds of shape and muscle and power. Maintains that all the way into his lower quarter. As you study his undercarriage, how he ties in his chest floor, right back to his flank, he's got shape and power throughout, from nose to tail. This one here just ties it all together. He puts his feet to the ground like they're supposed to be. He's got plenty of bone. His bone and his body matches up. I think this is just a steer. I think where he excels, our steer that goes second, is how good he is in his forerib. I think he's better in his shoulder and he's better in his forerib than our steer that comes second. This is an exceptional one here to lead off. Young lady does an awesome job. Congratulations. The steer that comes second, he is a little bit hard-headed, and that's really worked to his disadvantage because he was on the front of the line up here. He wants to kind of set back, and it kind of makes him a little bit softer there behind his shoulders, and that's part of how I separated them, because I think this calf has the same bone, the same muscle shape, the same power, the same integrity in the center portion of his body, and how he ties in his chest floor and how he ties in his flank. I think that the hip shape, all are very, very similar between those cattle. This black steer, I think, is a little straighter in his shoulder and not as true right behind his shoulder. That's why he goes second today. The black baldy steer that comes third, just a real complete steer. He gets kind of outmassed. He doesn't have the bone. He doesn't have the power. Doesn't have the extra hair and shag maybe at those two that go ahead of him. But that's a good steer. He's got muscle. He's got shape. He's just when you look at him one-on-one, you get to thinking, hey, this is my calf. But when you get him compared to those steers that are so burly and stout, he just gets overpowered. He's running pretty fast track here. It's hard to think a steer that good could go third, but that's where he fits for me today. The black baldy steer that comes next, you talking about get your attention. You can't miss this one. He is, all the lights are on and it's all home. I mean, he's nice. I mean, he's really cool up through his front end. He's good in his top line, got some body and rib, good as he comes to the ground. He just gets outpowered when you get around behind him. He needs more muscle and more shape to run with those guys in front of him. But, man, I love the integrity he has. I love the look that he has. And that young lady can just flat drive him right on home. I mean, that's a nice calf. Young man steer that comes next, I like this one. I think he's really got close pattern to the black and white steer ahead of him. He's another one that's so long-necked and cool-looking, really attractive from a profile. He's big bone and stout-featured. I'm not really a guy that talks much about their heads, but I don't particularly like this one's head very good, and that didn't help me any. But I think he's a little shorter hip, maybe not quite as true and level and square as that black and white steer ahead of him. That's how that pair switched up right there. Young lady steer that comes next, you're talking about a powerhouse. He's got power from nose to tail. He's really, really explosive when you get around behind him. He just looks a little bit past 12 o'clock to me. I mean, I just think that one's just a little bit more mature up in his head and his chest, maybe not quite the freshness and youthfulness that we see in those steers ahead of him. He's massive and stout. If that's your kind of steer, you can lead the class with him. That's how deep this class went. I just felt like when you start taking those fresher cattle, I felt like they passed this calf on that part because he is big boned and stout featured. Young man steer that comes next is another one that's a extremely attractive one. He's got balance. He's got style. I'd like to power him up a little bit. He doesn't have quite the body or depth as those steers either, but I think he's extremely attractive and really good. Young lady's white flank steer that comes next, you just got a buzzsaw of a class. I'm telling you, this is a good-looking steer. He needs more body, but he's got quality to him as well. Young lady's broccoli face steer that comes around, finishes up the class. Another steer that's attractive. She's done a good job feeding him and got him to the North American, got a nice steer here. Congratulations. I give this crew a round of applause. I've made them work pretty hard for this.
Make sure we're close again. Well, he made no bones about it, how deep that class was.
Actually, that just came up. That Class 7 winner there of Olivia Caldwell's was a Monopoly Yellow Jacket,
Okay.
raised by Staley's in Iowa and sold by England's Brandon Jones,
John Choate.
Bridwell, and obviously Todd Caldwell's involved there. And then that reserve was a Here I Am, of course, sold by Bonham and shown by Sage Martin.
What was that one? What was that calf?
He was a Here I Am.
Here I Am.
But that champion out of Monopoly, that he had a big wide back and butt end in him for a Monopoly.
He had a lot of big things about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go. Class 8 steers weighing 1407 to 1427. And sure don't look like it's sure to me does not look like there's a bunch of junk in here. So
Text
okay.
that.
Yeah, you need the classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about we'll go find them from
No, it was you and Paige. There you go.
go through them. However, it's
Yeah,
through crooked.
we are in Class 8.
You gotta come this way. She's gonna get onto you and have your faces on there.
Yep. We
Hey, those of you watching, I know our friends have probably been following the pulse.
mm-hmm.
I want to hear some predictions for tonight, Spring Heifer Drive. I know the Scimitals are not done, but of what you've seen, they're going to pick a top 5 this year, steers and heifers. It's new, never been done here. So I encourage you that are watching, comment away and give us some predictions on what wins that you've seen pulse pictures of or buddy pictures of or cattle that's going to be there tonight. You got anything, Corey? Is there anything that just jumped out?
Boy, that Angus heifer that won over there right before the steer show started, that Angus heifer of Wheeler's, she looked awfully good.
Oh, yeah, I am with you on that.
She looked awfully good. Looking back here on the pulse, kind of scroll back through here and kind of see what some of the highlights are.
Hey, you're going to have to slide this way. We got to get us some juice or the internet world's going to
they're
going to get what they've been asking for, and that'd be me and you to shut up.
We got those 2 Angus heifers.
Yeah, hey, that was a good one. That one was in Kansas City, and she was just as didn't maybe the Open show. I don't know that she didn't win the juniors there.
Yeah, she won the Opens.
Yeah, that's right, and she wins the juniors here, and and she is definitely a contender. Maintainer earlier today, is that what I saw? One that was from Weingartner's.
Yep.
A key.
The champion key was Weingartner.
That's right. They didn't have a maintainer. They're AOBs here. Maine, the champion Maine this year, Longacre family from Oklahoma.
Yep. Champion Shorthorn was Reed Shoemaker.
Okay.
Was Reed Shoemaker. Champion junior maintainer was Whitney Walker.
Oh, they have a maintainer show.
Yep.
Whitney Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
The champion junior Key Angus was Haley Holt from South Dakota.
Haley Holt from, what was that? Key Angus?
Yep, the Key Angus.
Gotcha. I can't believe there's not one person that doesn't have some sort of an opinion on what they liked. Got to be somebody on here.
Yeah, the junior Keys was Allison Underwood, and that was a Weingartner heifer. Trying to see who won the Lemmies. I think that was yesterday.
Could have been.
Yeah, the high mains was Turner Longacre.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Jared Arthur heifer.
Maybe
Herefords.
she comes from
Blind
an
Badger.
old friend of ours.
Yeah. Brian Fox out there in Colorado.
Exactly. I bet the wind's blowing so bad out there you can't get us on.
Yeah.
They get Facebook out there every third month when the wind quits blowing. They dig the sand out.
Champion Gelbay was Gentry Johnson with one from Dustin Bullock there in South Dakota.
Okay.
Champion Charlet was Braylon Schaefer, Timmy Schaefer's son.
Uh-huh. Good effort, too.
Champion Purebred Simmental was Kaylee Langford.
Okay. I think it's going to be exciting. This having a top 5.
Yeah, it kind of opens the door
show.
For a little more. Not only going to be one, there's going to be 5 of them to look at.
I'm going to tell you, I really feel like Cattlemen's Congress opened the door last year, kind of like King Kong,
kind of pushed
and just kicked the door down and said, "Guys, if we're going to do this, let's the thing about a top 5, and I don't care if it's your junior nationals, your state fair. There's 5 people leave out of there with some hope for the next one.
Yep.
And I get it. There's one everybody knows. Second place is the first loser.
Yep.
But I can promise you, that kid that was 5th overall in Louisville this year, tomorrow or tonight, whether it be a 5th overall market steer or it's a 5th overall breeding female, that kid left out of here with a banner that I guarantee you he's proud of.
Yep.
And he goes back somewhere and he brags about some success he had, and it gives him a leg up to say, hey, you know what's around the corner is Denver and Cattlemen's Congress, and Mom and Dad, we need to be there. I think it's good, and I a little bit want to applaud a couple, Cattlemen's Congress. I know they didn't do a top 5, but they did Supreme Junior, Supreme Open. They had the Supreme Bull, and there was so much hype around that. I think it opened up people's eyes to.
Well, and talking to Bobby, the livestock coordinator here,
Mr. Bell.
Bobby Bell here, the livestock coordinator for the North American. Boy, he's sure they have not got themselves to where they're going to be compliant in what they're doing. They're really striving to make things better, make things more exhibitor friendly, to make this show better every year, because they saw last year that if you don't, there's other venues that'll pop up and people will go elsewhere.
Exactly right. And he made the insinuation, that guy, he said, there's some exciting news just fixing to come around the corner about this market steer show. And he said, I seem to think, give it just a year. I think we're going to blow the doors off on some dollar figures. It's never happened. And I think that's encouraging. I think, we all learn talk's cheap, but Mr. Bale sure didn't seem much on talk. He was cut and dry. And I think we're going to get him this evening during the heifer show. He wants to tell us. And he's proud of the strides that they're making here in Louisville to North American.
Yep. He's right down there ringside right now. We can see him right in front of us.
He sure is. Some gun there like Santa Claus. He's everywhere. Back to the steers, Gerald. He's put the cattle on the move. Got them on the profile. And kind of making a walk back through them. I think he goes to, there you go. He's thorough before he pulls one. As you watching, y'all, obviously I'm going to brag on him when I can. And as you know that Gerald and I very well, we'd be pretty critical of each other if we have to. And I'm going to brag on him here in the sense that if you leave, to me, at this point in the game, if you go to the back in 4th place and say Gerald didn't give me a fair chance, you're a liar. Because he's give the cattle a chance. So I don't know. It's he's gonna start whittling them down and moving them up.
A Bridwell girl there in the 2nd hole with that orange steer. Pretty sure. Do you got that pulled up still?
Yeah. I don't know where it's at, but bottom
Right
left.
there.
There you
Yep.
go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he pulled her
Pulled over
in.
37. Just pulled her on over there. I don't guess I quite remembered him pulling old Peach, but I guess he did. Hey, what's number 9? That silver steer.
Yep,
Golly.
that's Joe
Silver baldy.
Gensini's son.
God, I like that guy,
Yeah.
don't you?
And that's a Dave Geyer calf.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
One from Dave.
Joe used to help Dave back in the day, a long time ago, and
Yeah, did he work for Dave for a little while?
yeah, he did. Yep.
You know, and I bet a lot of people don't know this. One of mine and your, I think we would say this is a top 5, maybe top 3 most influential club calf sires of all time.
Heatwave.
Joe Gensini bought that calf first and owned that calf in Denver.
That is a true
Is that
story.
right?
Yep.
So I just don't think a lot of people knew that. I mean,
He
I
owned half
think,
of him in Denver, and then Phil bought the other half.
Okay, yeah, I'm just.
Hey, that calf in third. That is that. You should know her, Brett. That's that Lainey Lawson that won.
She's from right there, local.
Yeah, won Tulsa this year.
Yeah, she did.
That would be a Bonham steer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's from right there in Newcastle. So
Yep.
little local.
She's in second.
Yeah.
Cade Gensini's in first.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like
it looks to me like he's gonna. I don't 30, know who is that. Who is that in the third
30,
position?
35. 35 is that's Carter Hogue.
Carter Hogue. Okay, look here. Now I think he's going to go to whittling on him a little bit.
He's pulling him up.
Lainey Lawson. Yep. So now we're going to get us down to 2. And we get the Gensini boy. Well, that's a good calf. For those of you that don't know exactly where Corey and I are sitting, we've got the most perfect front view, kind of a front 3/4 view or quarter. I don't know what you call that. Front 3/4 view of these cattle. So we get to see them at a little bit different advantage point or vantage point, maybe not an advantage point when these things are sitting here. And I mean that calf from the ground up, buddy.
There's a lot of calves there.
There are lots of calf there. And we're talking about a calf that probably weighs in the early 14s.
Yeah, let's look at 14-19. They
14-19, okay.
That's what they weighed him in at.
Mm-hmm.
And what they turned the card in at.
Yeah. Hey, it don't really matter what they turned it in at because they've got a certain percentage that they've got to cross back with.
I was talking to a bunch of them guys last night with Louisville. It's one of the rare shows. They got a 4% weigh back. And most shows are 5%. And that 1%, you take it times 1,400 pounds. That's 1,400 pounds of fill you could put on them. It makes a.
You may tell you about the 1%.
What's that?
There was a couple of classes I had in college.
Mm-hmm.
That 1% made the difference on my grade.
It did?
Because their grades were so much better than mine, and that 1% caused the curve to make mine look good. So the 1% matters.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It did not matter in November a year or two ago because we seemed like we were maybe I was the 1%er there, but the 1% matters. You're right.
Where'd you graduate from school?
I graduated college, believe it or not, from Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah.
I did. It was the greatest time of my life. I wish I could go back.
Yeah, it was.
You where were you, South Dakota?
I went to the University of Nebraska.
Really?
And when they were national champions those 2 years, I was the
I'll
junior and senior. So
really?
It was a good time.
So you went to college with Joe Frost or with the Frost that's the coach now?
Tommy Frazier.
Tommy Frazier year. Okay, I got you. But was the old ball coach still there then?
Yeah.
What's his name? Tom Osborne. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, looks like Gerald's going to go to the mic here. I think he's placed them, and we'll listen and see what he says.
keeps getting stouter and stouter, and the quality just keeps staying good. And I understand we're eventually going to run out of some of that, but wow, this is an impressive lineup once again. And once again, this top pair of steers, they're really, he's not blessed with the hair coat of the steer that comes second. But man, he is good down his top line. He's massive when you get behind him. He's so good in his undercarriage. He balances. He has eye appeal and style. I think where he overrides our white steer is when we get up in his front 1/3, how his shoulder lays in, the length and extension he has to his front end, how he comes out high out of his shoulder into his neck. A calf that's extremely good in his chest floor. And he's good when he comes to the ground. And once again, when you get on him and you get back behind him, this calf doesn't have the appearance from a side profile of the amount of power that he really has. This one has plenty of muscle and shape to him. I think just an awfully good one to win this class. I love the power in this Smoky steer that comes second. From his shoulders back, now, I mean, he can kind of warm you up because he's got the bone, he's got the shaggy hair, and he's got all the look that you can ask for a power steer. Really good in his body. He's a little bit more opened up in his shoulder, and he's definitely a little more jammed up in his neck. He's a little plainer up through his front end. Just plain, to me, he's just a little bit plain throughout because he is so square that it almost makes him look just a little bit flatter when you get around behind him as well. I'm not taking anything away from this calf. Thanks, you're not taking anything away from this young man because he knows how to get one put together. That's an awesome pair right there, and they're doing a great job for sure. Young man steer that comes third, another steer that's really attractive, big hipped and stout made. He gets a little rounder in his hip, maybe not quite as square and level as those two that go ahead of him. He wants to get a little rigid there in his pastern when we get him out on the go. He can relax and he can move on it pretty good. But when he kind of gets wound up, he gets a little tighter, not quite as flexible as he comes to the ground. Young man's black steer that comes next, another one with a lot the same pattern, a steer that's attractive from a side profile, got some shape to him. I didn't think he quite tied himself together as well as the steer that went right ahead of him. The baldy steer that comes next, another steer that's got body and power to him that's not quite as attractive as those steers in front. The Smoky steer that comes around next, another attractive made steer. He just doesn't tie as good down his top line and in his hip as those steers ahead of him. I really like this orange steer that comes next. From his shoulders back, he's extremely good. Really good bodied, really level hip, big bone and big footed. Gets out and goes good. He just gets a little deeper in his chest, a little plainer about his neck. If we could stretch that out and clean him up, no doubt he would go way up in this class. Black and white steer that comes next, we need to make him more mobile, make him set his tail head into him just a little better, but he's an attractive made one. Really kind of a unique one there that comes next, and he goes there I just didn't think he had enough to him. I just didn't think he had as much body. He's a little we just need to blow him apart. He's got a good pattern to him. He's really good looking, but he doesn't have near enough body to him to suit me. Young man steer that winds up the class, a good-bodied one that's a nice steer. He just needs to be sounder off both ends. Good set of cattle there. Congratulations to our exhibitors.
Placings in Class 11, percentage.
Hey, we're back. Slide over here a little closer. I don't like sitting this close to you. But, I mean, like I said earlier, no one in Facebook world has a clue. Look here. Me and you ain't the same height.
Nope.
So, pretty deep class.
Really deep class on that deal.
I can't wait to hear a little bit of what, or get to find out what those two cattle are.
Laney Lawson.
Yep. Laney Lawson.
won that deal, and then Cade Giancini was second,
Right.
and
I even them out where our screen's a little bit bigger, and then come
that calf of Lawson's again from Bonham Cattle. Their online sales tomorrow night on
exactly
SC
right.
online sales. And then second in that class, that wasn't In God We Trust, sold by Dave Yire and shown by Cade Giancini.
Gotcha.
We have got so this is class 9, and
Yep.
then there's this class, and class 10's a little smaller.
Mm-hmm. And then we got
champion
drive. Yeah, they don't wait around, do they? They show them. So
No,
yeah,
I
we're
think
class
they'll,
9, 1428 to 1450. Corey.
Yep.
They're getting up in there some heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, while he's doing this, I want to take just a minute. She has no clue it's coming, but she's going to adjust our camera here just a little bit to where we can make a little more room on here to where we're going to bring in a special person on our team.
You bet.
That hasn't had the chance yet to get in front of the camera. And of all the people,
yep,
we are in front of the camera. I don't know what's going on here. I like that though. She's working on it.
Paige is working on getting us all
yeah,
on the screen.
So yeah, I think she's gonna get us all on the screen, or I think I don't know what she's gonna do. But we're gonna bring her over here for just a minute. I want you people that there's however many of you on here watching is fine. Those of you that get to come back and watch this gig here in a minute. We are going to introduce you to Paige Jones, and Paige, she said she couldn't lay it out any other way.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to scoot over. I'm going to let you.
Yeah.
Can you see? Can you
bet.
see Paige? Hi, Paige. Paige is a pretty special part of our crew. Those of you that's listened in a little bit when this adventure first started, I was 2 friends that I called, and I knew all along that I'm not very social media savvy. Am I?
No.
Corey's not either.
No, not
But he's
at all.
he's got his phone's got that Kent Jakey feature on it that allows you to Facebook Live.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I knew, and he's got quite the personality. We're going to warm him up to this TV camera after all. He's getting untracked a little bit. So we'll get some more of his comic relief starting Monday, I hope. But Paige, thank you. She moves stuff around. You tell us a little bit. Why of all the freaking people, all of the stuff that you probably have going on in your life, what enticed you to say, Brett, I want to be a part of this? I want in. And you it was exactly what I called you for advice. Do you remember that day?
Yep, I do.
Who is it I
do.
can get to do what I'm wanting to do? And I was like blown away when you said, me.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah.
So tell us, what is it about Cattle Drive Live?
I just think it's such a unique platform, and a unique idea in general. And the fact that there are so many different things that we can do with Cattle Drive Live, I think is what excites me the most, because it's really just limitless. The amount of people, guests we can have on, topics to cover, things like that. And I am just someone that has to be busy all the time. So what's one more thing in my schedule?
Anybody that can corral Jake Bloomberg,
Exactly.
This is probably something.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet.
I thought I got rid of you too after I left the main association,
Yeah.
but it seems that I was incorrect.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly where our paths crossed. I don't know if you knew Corey prior to that or not, but you worked for the mains for a while and did social media work and DNA work and
Yep. That's
You
right.
know, you had an opportunity to leave the mains and go back towards home.
Yes.
Right.
So, yep. Now I live in good old Berwick, America, at the Bloomberg Ray Ranch, and I work for AGCO on their grain and protein side, doing similar things to what I did with the Maine Association, just a social media marketing specialist. So, kind of working through that. But it's unique to see a different side of agriculture from going from show cattle to production agriculture. So,
Right. Yeah, it's been quite the adventure. Gosh, I know we all had aspirations to do our first show in Kansas City, and
mhm.
it went from that's not going to happen to all of a sudden last week or the last 10 days.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like a slow start, and then once the ball got rolling, it was just nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was fun. I have a chuckle. Last night at dinner, our crew went to eat dinner, and you made the funny joke that when your phone rings, it's like, is it Brett or Corey?
Yeah.
You know, and so
exactly.
yeah, you know, I just wanted, while we're on here, obviously we're enjoying the steer show and getting to enjoy the feed here and some people on here with us. But you know, I wanted to take the time to introduce you too, because you are a behind the scenes person that
Yeah, I don't like being on camera.
you know.
I like being a behind the scenes
Yeah.
type of gal. So,
I
but
don't know.
no, it's good to introduce myself. And
Yeah, well, it's good to have you, and I can tell you, you are the one that needs to be in front of the camera. I think that the public that knows this thing, they really know Corey and I have the perfect face for radio. You know, I mean,
Damn sure better looking than we are.
oh yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Yeah, but we're thankful to have you. You kind of corral the chaos.
yep,
So,
absolutely. Yep. Excited to be a part of it. Excited to see where it goes from here.
Exactly.
What's Jake Bloomberg got going on this afternoon?
Oh, probably corralling a lot of different things at home. His dad will be here, or is on his way here, to judge the full blood Simmental show tomorrow. Yep. So he is in charge of everything at home, all the dogs, all the cows, everything. So he's busy at home getting ready for his bread sale, and
Hey, that's coming up. He has one with Boyer Core, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He just got his pictures done yesterday. So, and I know Jared's were done a couple weeks ago. So I imagine those should be posted, and that'll be on SC Online Sales on December 7th.
I would hope that we can twist Knucklehead's arm enough that he jumps on board with some drive marketing with us, and we get to be graced with his presence and knowledge, and maybe get him and Boyer together. We talk about a fun episode for drive, just those two guys alone. Talent, big time. A friendship there. I bet you $1 we're going to have to hear something about Tammy. We're going to have to hear something about
Proud Mary,
or the drunk chicken, or whatever he calls that bull he's so proud of. Bad chicken. There, we'll have to hear something, but I can promise you, what he says will be how it is. He is both those guys are a no BS kind.
Oh yeah.
And so if they're out there listening, I'd say you know that they're on the books, and they're excited to be on drive marketing and be a feature there. So
yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll get back into these steers. Paige, thank you.
Yep, of course.
World, welcome to Paige.
We are getting sorted down a little bit in Class 9 here.
Yeah, he's put him here on the move. 1428, 1450. Are you still a player at that weight?
Well, I think a guy would have to really be
outlier.
Really be an outlier. We're getting right up there.
Okay.
But they're still holding it together very well.
My wife is watching our feed here, and she heard about Jake, and she's wanting to know if his drive marketing would feature clothes. So, old dog buddy of mine, Randon Ridlin, he want to know if that was me and the Facebook in Louisville. So that is me, Randon. Thank you. Thank you for checking on us and being on with us. Corey's wanting my phone you know where it's at, not
that
me.
one
So.
of the one in first there is a Here I Am that Cassidy Bremer shows.
51.
Yep.
Then you got 48 on the line there. Boy, that is a really attractive one of that Bremer.
48.
Yeah, 48's what
Oh,
it
that's
shows.
Miles Shout. Madison Shout.
Madison Shout from Oklahoma.
From Oklahoma.
Right.
Yeah. And then I can't quite make that number in the blue there.
Nobody else can see this, but I am watching Mr. EX over there. Gerald Callahan watch this class. Him and D-Rob, they are on seats ends.
Last year he was down in the ring.
Yeah, he was down in the ring. You think he's thinking JB's doing them right? Think you give him credit, or you think he might critique him just a little?
He might critique him. The judging coach, and he might come out.
Judging, yeah, you think he's calling these cuts on them? I'll tell you what, though, that's another guy that I'm gonna be excited to get on Cattle Drive Live is Mr. Gerald Callahan, because his involvement with agriculture stems much grander and larger than Express Ranches.
Yeah.
And some people don't know that he was a judging coach, and not just a coach of national champion teams.
Several.
That had industry leaders on those teams. Christy Collinses and the Matt Sims has come through his the Mark Johnson proteges there. But even there, he ran the Oklahoma Cattlemen's for a little while. He's so well rounded. They feed cattle as you know. But I just think guys like that, I would love to have on just from an industry knowledge standpoint. And
that's the kind of
judging coach in the 80 and judges Louisville last year. He stayed in the mix. It's
that third calf is Besner from
Besner?
From Ben Besner.
You sure?
23 is Ben Besner, and they're from Texline, Texas.
Okay. They come on out here in the east. Hey, look how square back that booger is.
Yeah, he walked these three again.
They're gonna set these three steel right here and get them. Bremer's got hers walking in there. Boy, just super attractive. What was the second one there? Corey, 48.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah, you were thinking that 48 was
it was Miles Shout's
daughter, Madison. Yeah. Wonder how that works. I thought she'd be too old to show here with the Canadian Exchange. I figured she was 25.
25.
Yeah, eventually, I don't know how that works. But
that calf of
FYI, for y'all that don't know, Miles Shout is from Canada. So there is no, she's not too old.
That calf, Cassidy's there. Then first, he was 5th overall at our state fair in South Dakota.
Okay.
He is a Here I Am I-80 that Kendall Bremer raised.
Really? Now would that be a 322 son?
Yeah, I think that is a 322.
Okay, so that steer is a full brother to Baylor Bonham's bull. Here I'm talking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that would be you'd be
right.
right.
The old hundo. That's right.
That would be right.
And what he does, I don't know what he's fixing to do, but the way he's sorting right now, he puts the Bremer girl second and uses the Shout girl to win the class.
once again, they keep bringing the good ones, and the top end of this class is it's been challenging in a good way, because I don't think that I don't know if a guy can just sit down and argue all day long on these top three, which way they go, because you could build around any one of these, however you want to do it. In my mind, the steer that keeps coming to the top for me is I kept working these three and I kept walking them and watching them. I felt like the steer that wins, he won the most of the time in my mind. He's a calf that is the most fault free. He's the best as he comes to the ground. And when you get behind this one, he is so massive and so stout. That's where he excels. Our second place steer is the shape and muscle and power that this calf has. And to put it in a real athletic package, I think that makes him unique. That's why he wins for me. I think this one's really, really good. This one that comes second is stellar. I mean, from a side profile, whoa. I mean, he can give you a look. He blends so good. He's so nice in his top line. He's nice out of his hip. He's square and put together like no other. I mean, he's as well presented as you can make one. He's not as long-necked as the steer that leads the class, and he's definitely not as stout. If we could power this one up, we could start the class with him right off. He's not nearly as stout, but you're talking about the look and the power he's got, or the look and the design, he's got it. I just like to see him a little bit stouter, but this is that calf fits me to a T. I just like to see him stouter. The young lady steer that comes third, he's the first one that I thought was going to win this class, because I like parts and pieces of him. The more that we move him around and the longer he's out here, I think he kind of moves down the line a little bit. He's not as true in his top line. He wants to get a little bit soft there behind his shoulder, maybe come up in his top just a nickel. He definitely drops his pins when he gets out on the go. And that's getting picky on, a really great steer and a young lady that knows how to put him together as well. I love his feet and his bone work. I just like to see him a little bit better in his top line, like to fix him in his hip just a skosh in order to go up any higher. But that's a nice trio of steers right there. Young lady steer that comes fourth, another one that's extremely good quality steer. He kind of ran into some really rank ones there at the top, but this is a good steer, a steer that's got muscle and power and shape. He just doesn't tie everything together as in the same quality of package as those cattle that went ahead of him. Steer that comes next, another big bone, stout featured kind of a steer. When he gets out on the go, he kind of wants to break apart in his top. Doesn't stay together quite as well as he needs to. The steer that follows him there, a little shorter body, a little shorter coupled steer. He's a little more upright in his shoulder, maybe not quite as flexible when he gets out on the go. The white belted steer, I like the hip and the squareness and levelness that he has. He just needs to be just a little, probably just set his tail head down in him and tie himself together a little better there up through his front end and his forerib. Another stout made steer comes next, a little shorter up in his front end, a little more upright in his shoulder. Young lady steer that comes around next, he's a bigger frame steer with a good look to him. We just like to see more power when you get behind him for his size and his shape. But young man steer winds up the class, awesome looking, real attractive in his front 1/3. Just runs out of muscle and shape to deal with what he's got in this class. But awesome set of them, awesome set of young people. Give them a round of applause.
In our percentage Simmental show, your Division 4 champion.
Hey, we're back. The last and final class coming in the ring of the day.
We're going to get big now.
We're going to get husky. I like that word. You used that the other night. You said husky, but class 10. Hey, to 1559.
That's a big bugger. And
I tell you, man, fill up chuck wagon with some beef right there.
That's declared weight at 1559.
Mm-hmm.
That calf could weigh on.
What could that calf weigh at 4%? There's got to be somebody faster at math than I am.
16 something.
Well, I don't know. I'm not that. There's probably some fancy way they taught us in school, and I didn't pay attention. But back to that 1% deal.
Yeah,
A
they're
little
gonna
buddy
get
of mine
big.
come in here visiting with us today, Odie Heck. He come in here to hang out. Y'all don't know Odie, but Odie and I went to college together. He's the one that the guy right behind us right now. That's the guy that wrote our commodities report for us on season 1, episode 1. Standing behind me, he knows all about grain and corn and
How about it?
chicken feed
It
and
was a
beans.
good
and,
deal. Yeah. That was very well
I think
written.
he probably has people. There's a guy that works for him, Michael Johnson, that
Yeah.
probably
Was that
he
him in
probably
the shades?
that was him.
Yeah.
That he's got a character. We call him Donnie Millions.
Donnie Millions.
Donnie Millions will be
Yeah.
back on. But I would say
Yeah.
that the actual good sounding stuff
Mhm.
probably come from Michael,
Okay.
and he just submitted it, and so he can take credit for
Mhm.
it. But Donnie Millions is he's gonna surprise a lot of people this next week, I can tell you. So
Yeah.
class 10,
Got 3 steers out of
1469.
Ohio. Got 1, 2, 3,
Hey.
4 out of Indiana, 1 Texan, 1 from Wisconsin, and 1 from Kentucky.
Kentucky. Hey, one thing we need to talk about. With the conclusion of class 10, we are going to cut off here on our feed. We're going to stop the live stream for just a few moments. Those of you watching, I don't know, there's not just a terrible amount of you I'm talking to here, but I want you to pay attention. We are going to shut this off, and we will start a new stream during the champion drive. For those of you watching or want to come back and rewatch the champion drive on your way home, or listen to the remarks, or see those elite top 10 steers that's in contention for the top 5 or 20. I guess they'll bring some champions in reserve class winners back, but we're gonna go live again for just the champion market steer drive. So if we lose you here, hang tight, get you a glass of water. As in mine, I went and got me a cup of coffee. My wife, she knows I like that kind of cup too, so it's a good cup of coffee. Hang with us and come back and be ready for the champion drive. Text your friends, call them. Bonham Show Cattle ad down there, November 15th, online sale. I think those guys, they were a part of our new marketing platform.
They were the first drive live we did.
And they really liked it. Gosh, Baylor and Little Bob say they get some mileage out of that. And we're thankful that they trusted in us to do it. Matter of fact, they're wanting to do another one for a later deal that they got planned.
Yep.
And then found out what we were going to do here, and Little Bob texted you and said, "Hey, get us on the World Wide Web," and we want to thank them for that, and also let you guys know that November 15th, Bonham Show Cattle's first ever online sale will be held on SC Online Sales. So
that Class 9 winner was a Fu Manchu sold by Tracy Gretzka. Gretzka show steers. Madison Shout there from Yukon, Oklahoma showed him. Second in that class was sold by, or that was a Here I Am, sold by
no, sir. But I will.
Kevin Brimmer. Brimmer show cattle.
Give me just a moment.
It was shown by Cassidy Brimmer. They were 2 good looking steers they're getting on the heavier end of things, and it'll be a stretch for one of them to probably get a piece of it, but they were both awfully good. Simmentals on the other side are starting to get some age on them. And the Supreme Drive will start at the conclusion of the Simmental show. I think that's how that works.
What is it?
I think as soon as that Simmental show gets over with, or the Supreme Drive starts.
Do they, or do they start that a little later?
They used to start it a lot later, like 7 o'clock, but I thought it was a little earlier than it. Last year, it seemed like it was earlier than that. You'll take that fence down out of the middle of the ring and use the whole ring for that deal, as many headers they'll have in there.
Sorry, I was getting a text message from our crew in the back. I had to take 5 and respond to those guys. But Class 10 in the ring, 1469 to 1559. So you're thinking that the Supreme Heifer Drive will fire up here just pretty quick, huh?
Well,
You think?
because this steer deal will be over with, sometime here by 5:30. I'm betting that Supreme Drive might happen at 6.
Right. Well, he's still working them boogers, isn't he? I'll tell you, from start to finish, he has given the kids and the cattle every opportunity. And it's not just been about the top end of them either. He's gonna slide on in there and give that kid. He's placing the 7th place calf right now in the last class of the day, as if we are in the meat and potato class again, and we're in the top 3. So,
Yeah,
hate to give that guy that much credit. Gosh, I hate it.
That
But,
is exactly right. Yeah, he is still taking his time.
Yeah.
For a guy that they said was flying through him in the beginning.
Right. But you know what? I've been in that shoe too, back there in the chute, and you've waited around all day to start a steer show, and you don't know really when it's going to show. And he, Gerald got here, and then they told him wait another 45 minutes. So if you had one in the back that first class or two, he's probably ready.
Yeah.
And it goes from nothing to something. So
He's gonna walk these cattle.
Yeah. You think he's going to walk these 7 again? You think so?
7 of them out there.
You're going to probably be right. I'm not sure. Look at there. Dadgum, he's going to take 7 of. He's placed what, 2 or 3 head?
Not very many.
No, not very many at all. And he's going ahead and.
He's just going to kind of pluck them off on the move. And
Yep. So what would you say? What would you say in terms of just me and you watching today? And I'll be honest with everybody sitting here. I don't know that early on we had some technical troubles getting out of the gate.
Yeah.
Ended up me and you back in here together. What would you say the MO was today? Where would you say his priority has been in terms of placing?
I'd say structure first, and then he's tried to put as much muscle on him as he could.
Right. Okay.
Yep, I would say so.
Yeah. I think for me, and unfortunately, I get to be around him some, and we sort some stuff at times together and discuss them. And I didn't know just how much muscle would be a factor.
Yeah.
And it surprised me. He's locked them with some punch. But he's locked them with some look.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think more than anything I've noticed, I haven't got to look back at the pulse like you have, and I don't want to hold the pulse picture to what the cattle are always looking like. They do a good job, but they're so well balanced, you know. And I think there's some merit to that whole approach to just good beef. And
like you said, we had some technical difficulties. I really think we're on to something really neat there. We just couldn't get the technologies and things to work. We had some feedback from the microphones, and we need to tweak some things, or hopefully make a capability to bring the behind the scenes deal along with the show people at home what's happening behind the scenes, talk to the people, talk to the fitters, breeders, exhibitors, stuff behind the scenes. That's what just going to try to do stuff different, I guess, with the whole Cattle Drive Live deal, and bring something that people haven't seen before, is kind of what our motto is.
Absolutely. And hey, we're already on it. We knew this morning our initial plan, once we figured out the internet here wasn't what they thought it was. I'm excited to see what happens by Denver time is what I'm betting happens. By Denver time,
maybe Supreme heifer in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I would go with OKC. Absolutely, I would
Supreme
say
heifer at Oklahoma City. Try
the
to
Supreme Drive. We might pull this off.
Do something live and give you some behind the scenes stuff. And
we need to get you one of them NASCAR helmets like they use.
Yeah.
Those guys that are down on the racetrack, they got that microphone with the bubble on it.
Exactly.
And they got the safety helmet with the antenna.
Yep.
I think
need to go big.
I don't know him personally.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, Rick Hendrick looks like a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet he's got extra equipment.
Yeah.
The NASCAR season will be over.
Yep.
And we could tune up their Daytona equipment for them.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
and when
exactly
we'd have her in racing gear by the time they needed it in February.
Hey, Gerald's going to talk this class.
Yeah, I think he's got his mind made up. It's hard. I think he's there. He's looking back through them.
Yep.
I'm with you. I thought he was headed over there to talk, and he is. He just. Where's good? Let's see what JB thinks on Class 10 market steers.
We have a nice class of steers here to wind up. A nice one that leads off. A steer that just ties himself together good. He's got a nice look to him. He's got some balance and style. He's good as he comes to the ground. These things are getting a little heavy, but he handles that pretty well. I like the depth of flank that he's got. Looks like a steer that he doesn't look like he's necessarily been held. Just a good market steer that's good meat and potatoes kind of calf that's got all the product and power that you can ask for. The calf that comes second, now he's the one that's got the long neck and the real cool look. He's extremely attractive up through his front 1/3. I don't think he's quite as stout, maybe not quite as much muscle in that calf when you get around behind him as compared to the steer that leads off, but I do like the design and look that he does have. Young man steer that comes third, a good hip, really a powerful made kind of a steer that's a little bit shorter bodied, but he has a nice look to him. He gets a little rounder maybe when you get up on him, maybe not quite as flexible when you get him out on the go. Young man steer that comes next, another deep bodied, nice steer, not as extended and clean up through his front 1/3. Young man steer that comes next, another good-bodied, good feeding kind of steer. These steers that sit right here in the middle, all of them were really good, and they were challenging to put together because I'm not sure there's a right way or wrong way because all of them were really good cattle. Young man steer that comes next, one that does have a little bit more look and a little more extension. I'd like to see him a little freer and easier moving on his feet and legs. Young man steer that comes next, much the same way. We'd just like to see him a little more flexible to go up any higher. The white steer that comes around, a good-bodied, real nice feeding kind of steer that's got some bone and really heavy structured. He just gets too tight moving when we ask him to get out on go. Young man's black and white steer that comes next, a big-ended, really extremely powerful kind of individual. He's got a good look to him. Would like to set his tail head down in him, just balance him up a little bit. Young man steer that winds up the class, another good-bodied, stout featured steer. He's having a little trouble getting around here today, but he's a calf that's fed good, and young man's did a good job with. Go.
On total. Hey guys, we're back and we're going to be real quick and brief with you right here, right now. We are going off the air live, and I would like you to understand that within 2 or 3 minutes, we're firing right back up here again, Cattle Drive Live, Facebook Live, to cover the champion drive, the market steers at the North American International. So, guys, I hope to see you right back here in just a second.